We are right into our training part of this program, and we are going to take a dive into pathways. All we know about Toastmasters is about education. Education is about learning. And what do we use? The tool we have now is pathways. And we will tell you, as part of the Club Growth team, everything you do, you need to use pathways. So even with us having our meetings on leadership and HR practices, any speech you do, you have to tie it back with some leadership aspect. You must use the Pathways program. So tonight, to introduce DTM Raghu, who will be our speaker for the rest of the evening, I will call on Toastmaster Samantha Latouche. But before I do so, I want to give her some kudos. I want to give her an introduction. Toastmaster Samantha Shanna Francis Latouche is grateful for life. She's like me, she's happy about life. Wonderful family and loves and cares for her stable job, business and church and her Toastmaster family. I love that. She is the proud member of Spice Eye Toastmasters Club and presently holds office of Sergeant at Arms. She is the CEO of Elegas Designs. She's a Sunday school teacher of New Life Fellowship Church for Teenagers. She's the customer service champion for her Buds hardware department. She obtained certificate of supervisory management and stores management at UWI. She's the mother of 3 handsome boys and a wife of a wonderful man. Oh, thank you, Lord. In her spare time, she loves reading and meditating on the word of God, planting flowers, taking nature walks with the family, and watching romantic and comedy movies. Her favorite Bible quote is taken from Philippians 4:8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. For a moment, I thought I was preaching. Everyone, please help us welcome Toastmaster Samantha Francis Latouche as she introduces DTM Raghu. DTM Raghu, you're being introduced by Toastmaster Samantha.
Thank you, DTM Federica. A pleasant good night, everyone. It's a pleasant to be here tonight. DTM Raghunatha Raghu is a Toastmaster now for 2.5 years. He has achieved 2 DTMs so far in Pathways and is pursuing his 5th Pathways now. He has chartered 4 clubs thus far, 2 in India and 2 at international level. He is a strong advocate of core values of Toastmasters and has shown his commitment by serving the community various roles. He has contributed in different ExCom roles and has a record of helping each one of them achieve President Distinguished status. He has also served as club coach twice and completed the tenure successfully. He is currently serving VP Education at Toastmasters for Hyderabad Entrepreneurs and as VP Membership of Universal Entrepreneurs Toastmasters. He is also serving as Area Director of Area 63, District 18. He calls himself Nomadic Toastmaster, roaming around different countries of the world virtually. He has now visited about 500 clubs from 140 countries. Toastmasters, guests, please unmute your mics and help me welcome DTM Raghu to the virtual lectern. DTM Raghu, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. In life, we do have core values, and in Toastmasters, we do have core values 4. We had a great speech by DTM Melinda, our CGD, who has talked about how Toastmaster has transformed her life. But does it happen just like that? Is it just by the magic wand that I swipe it and then my life get transferred? Or I just sign up for Toastmaster, I pay the money, and then I sit at home, and then I become a public speaker or a great active listener? Think about it. Good morning. Good morning because I'm from India, and good evening because you are other side of the world. My name is Raghunath Raju, and I'm from India. And I've already been introduced, so let's start with the program. We all have a path to choose in our life, a path towards success, a path forward in life. So how do you choose the path? In Toastmasters, because in our life, when we move on, we select different paths, whether it is in education. When you select your streams, example in engineering, you need to select your specialization. Even in BCom honors, or if you're doing your bachelor's arts, you need to select your major and then you go with others, isn't it? So when it is there everywhere, why not in Toastmaster? And how does it help you? So let us start with little bit comparison with what was the traditional program in Toastmaster. So for those who are new to Pathways, for a guest from whom the program itself is Greek and Latin at this point, let us just concentrate on the part that Pathways program is giving us benefit on competencies. Competencies, which is 300 plus competencies. Don't you think that's a benefit that we're achieving here? And also a sense of accomplishment in a very short period. For example, when you're doing the legacy program, you have to complete 10 speeches to get your first certificate. But in Pathways, just 3 to 4 speeches. And now with the new improvement, it is about 5 speeches that you need to complete. That gives you the first certificate. But then talking about 300 competencies, it would take ages. So we'll concentrate upon 5 core competencies. Public speaking, because we all join Toastmasters to improve ourselves to become a better public speaker. 2, interpersonal communication, how we can communicate better in different realms of life, personal, professional, or in the way that we go in society. For example, when you want to raise a toast in actual functions, that is where it started, where we are not able to do it. So you get prepared for that, the real life events as well. Third is strategic leadership. We hear our speaker today who talked about how Toastmaster has helped her become a better leader. Then strategic leadership is where you're able to apply your strategic skills as a speaker, and that will help you become a better leader. Next is leading and managing. How you will be able to lead better and manage a particular part of team are certain members. Last is building confidence. Now, there are two other competencies that have helped, even you hear the speaker to it talking about it. First is critical thinking. Without this critical thinking, it is very difficult because in life, everything and anything comes unprepared. Only few things is where that you go prepared, but you never know what's going to happen next moment. Second is active listening. Until you are able to listen actively, you cannot grow. For example, if Frederica is my boss and I'm going to her to just tell my boss, and if she's not listening properly and I feel that she's not attentive, I lose my respect for her. Think about it. Have to become a better leader. You have to become first a better listener. So this is all it about. We'll see how pathways our Toastmaster is going to help us. But first, let us see pathways program. How do I select a specific pathway? There are two aspects to it. First, aligning your whatever you want to achieve in your life, or let us say achieve immediately. For any goals that you want to achieve, you will have short-term goals and long-term goals. So immediate short-term goals first. Second thing is, what are the competencies that you want to grow immediately in your life? So you will align them both, and that is how you will choose pathways. We talked about 5 core competencies. Here you see there are 5 core competencies in below: public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and confidence. Out of 11 pathways, each pathway has competencies aligned to it. For example, let us say, I want to improve my leadership skills. I'm just promoted and I want to work with a short team. Or let us say, I want to get to hone my skills so that I can have a smooth leadership role that I can work with. So then what I would do, that different pathways for that: leadership development, dynamic leadership. And also, if you look at that, the leadership development has management aspect, while in dynamic leadership, it is strategic leadership. So every pathway by default will have 2 competencies, which is public speaking and building confidence. But then I have to be specific.
Raghu? Sorry, we're not seeing the change in the presentation. We're still seeing the first page.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me share that. Everybody see now?
Almost there. It's just coming up.
Can you see?
There it is. Yes.
We could see. Raghu, we could see your screen.
Now, are you seeing the moment?
Yes. Yes, we are seeing them.
Okay. Now, there are 2 different steps. One is core competencies and your goals. Second is the pathways. When you select a pathway, there's a survey that you take. Initially, when I selected my first pathway, I didn't go by the choices that the survey has given me. I had a very clear vision in my mind that I had to work with tough co-workers who I wanted to persuade. I was having hard time working with them to achieve a goal in my team, which is why I choose the pathway persuasive influence, how I can influence my team member in a better way. That did really help me. When I chose my second pathway, again, I didn't go with a survey. It was more on my long-term goal of becoming a motivational speaker, which is why I chose motivational strategies. Now you see, every pathway has its own core competencies, and second term is there are certain goals that you want to achieve in your life. For example, let us say you want to build strategic relationships that will help you build your network. Same time, because the network is your network, will help you build your opportunities in life. Maybe by forgetting better job opportunities or building your customer base. It can be anything, whether it is your innovative planning, or, for example, let us say you want to build that funny bone in your mind so that you attract the audience well enough because people love who bring humor to the talk. So that is engaging humor pathway. So it's all depend upon that. Now that we talked about selecting a pathway, let us talk about what does each pathway contain. Every pathway has 5 levels. Now, we all know whenever we start a bachelor's degree, or let us say we are taking up any specialty course, but then first year or first term, there is common subjects across. Same way, every pathway first level is common across because it is more on getting your fundamentals of public speaking. The second is learning your style. What is your style? What is your leadership style? What is your communication style? What is your specific style in doing things? Third is increasing knowledge in that specific pathway. Fourth is more activity based building skills for that. For example, let us say it is leadership development, an activity based upon that, working with a team to achieve a goal. Maybe it is how to get to a change, how to manage a change. Level 5 is demonstrating experiences more deep dive into the pathway where you'll work on any activity and also specific becoming a public speaker, speaking for 18 to 22 minutes, more getting prepared to become an active public speaker there. You are breaking the barriers to the next level here. Next, if we talk about mastering fundamentals, what does it involve? Icebreaker is where you break the ice. Every moment of life is about breaking the ice if you want to talk to people. This speed is more about how you can talk to people and introduce yourself, same time following a proper structure to it. It will help you in improving the way that you introduce yourself to in your interviews, or the way that you would talk to your customers, the way that you would introduce yourself as a better public speaker as well. There are 2 speeches right now. If you are already selected a pathway, there are 3 different projects that we have in our new pathway. Evaluation and feedback and researching and presenting is what we have in the earlier pathways. Evaluation and feedback is where we get to understand how we can get feedback and implement. And then researching and presenting is always researching on something and present it. If you're working on something that you don't know about, mostly in your office, your boss asks you something, we are trying to implement this software. Please try to find about it. This is where you research on it, come back and present to your boss. It has in different form. For example, let us say you want to buy a fridge. What do? You go research the market, come back, and then discuss with your spouse, and then based upon that, you buy the fridge, isn't it? Same way it is going to be here. The three different projects that have been added is more on aligning with our old manuals, writing a speech with a purpose. You learn how you can have a proper purpose to your speech and then present it. Introduction to vocal variety and body language. Here you learn the importance of body language and vocal variety and how you can implement that to your speeches and how that will help. So there are other speeches at different levels. Here you are learning that. Now coming to learning your style, as I talked about, you learn about leadership style or communication style or how you connect with audience, managing time, etc., based upon your pathway. Now, level 3 is more, this is the wonderful level, I would say. I always enjoy myself when it comes to level 3. Here you start learning the core project, something you're increasing your knowledge here. So what are the things, for example, negotiate the best outcome. How can you negotiate in a better way? We all negotiate in life, don't we? Even the last moment before the death, God, just one more moment, we keep asking, don't we? So here you increase that, negotiate the best outcome, how we can do better, how we can negotiate in a better way, at the same time get the best outcome. Because the two parties have to be happier about the negotiation. Then present a proposal. We all present a proposal. For example, let us say, I want to buy a coin for my collection. I have to go and propose to my wife that we need to cut short the budget for the month to get my coin, something. And planning and implementing, etc. All this is where you increase your knowledge. There are one core project from level 3, and then there are 2 electives in level 3 that you need to complete for level. In level 4, it is 1 core project and then 1 elective. You see here, you're working on building skills. We talked about the project manage change. How do you manage change? I had a tough time with my elder son who never accepted any change. So we had to prepare him for the change that is going to come, even if it is changing his school, that this is going to come and this is the outcome. If you are unhappy, we can go back to your old school, something like that. So we do manage change, but how can we do in a better way is you are going to learn that there. Manage projects successfully. Everything in life is a project, but how do we manage that where we can keep people happy, where we don't pressurize people? I just want this done. How many of you love your manager when he just, no, I want it just done? Do you love that such hypocrites? No, we don't love them. But how you can become a better leader for that. So you will learn all of that as part of building skills. Next is demonstrating your expertise. You're given a short-term projects that you can pick up, work in your real life. Real life, I mean it real life. For example, let us say lead in any situation where you can work upon any volunteer organization, need not be Toastmasters, and then you can work and come with your expertise, and then you just need to give a speech based upon your experience. High performance leadership, where you demonstrate your experience as a leader, where you have to work with real life team to achieve something. Trust me, I've seen people who have built fund for charity of in thousands, or they work in church to build something better in a church, or it can be even some leadership program there as part of this. It need not be again just Toastmasters. So anything that you can connect with your real life or your personal life, it can become a project in Pathways. The beauty of Pathways is that you can pick up any speech and then align with one or other project in Pathways. Now comes what are the different special unique projects in each pathway. I will not go much in detail, but there are specific projects for each pathway. Based upon that, you can make your decision to select a pathway. The HPL project is itself the project that takes at minimum 2 to 3 months, sometimes even 6 months. So people sometimes want to skip that, so you can go and do that based upon that. Now we again have competencies in each pathway that compare to each project. Listening to fundamentals is common across, but then in learning your style, let us say dynamic leadership is one pathway where you have 2 projects, understand your leadership style, understand your communication style, are the 2 projects in level 2, and then level 2 project 3 is common across all the projects. It's where a beautiful project where you can pay tribute to all your mentors across life. That's not that simple that somebody can just give time, isn't it? That they give us time to improve upon. That is one mentorship program that even Pathways talks about. We'll go in detail about it in later stage. Now, what is the life cycle of completing one project? This is what I would recommend. Anyone who wants to go on with one project, they should do the training first. They should not just assume something looking at the project description. You have to open this project, clicking on the activate, and then you launch it, go through the training, and then there's a survey that you need to complete about the competencies of specific project. Once that is done, you need to talk to your mentor about the ideas for the specific project, how you want to build your speech or how you want to do that specific project. Once you are done with that, and then you do a brainstorming, pick up one great idea out of it, then start working on your speech. Once your speech is ready and you're able to do a demo, and then you finalize how you want to have your speech, then go back to your VP education of the club. The vice president education of the club should be able to give you a slot, or if not in the same club, they can find your slot in a different club. Give the speech. The evaluation of the source will be filled by your speech evaluator. Get back with your learnings and see how it has helped you to improve on the competencies that you have given a rating before the speech. After the speech, you complete it, and then once it is done, you will mark that project as complete. And how do you complete your level is when all the required projects are complete, you raise a request for completion, and your VP education gets that in your base camp. It can be VP education or any base camp manager, president, or secretary of the club, and they approve it based when they get to see that you have completed the required projects for that level. So this is a process that helps the member to complete a level. So why do I need to complete a level? How does it even matter? you get a certificate of completion. I've seen people where they were able to improve themselves in the process of completing. Same time, this certificate carries a weightage when you can go back and negotiate with your manager for a pay rise, or when you're changing a job, and the people get to see that you also have a competency in public speaking. Or where, why is there any place that we don't have these public speaking skills? Presenting something in your office, or when you talk to your client, when you talk to your customer, every front we do have this public speaking, don't we? So that is why it carries the weightage. For VP education or the base camp manager, how they track is we have the report called, when you go to base camp, it's where you get to see how many members are in a specific pathway and what is their progress till date. This is where you can go and check it. Now, in pathway program, also you get to have 4 different kinds of report. What is their current level? How many members are in a specific pathway? And what is the expectation that you can have for the specific? I love to maintain it in my Excel sheet instead of this, depending upon this report, because sometimes it doesn't work. In my geographic location, I never get to load that base camp reports. Maybe next time you can try and see if it works for you. So now that you have feedback, when you get the field evaluation sheet from your speech evaluator, there's a way that you can maintain everything in your base camp. Now, when you go to your profile and click on My Documents, there are level-based feedback forms. Just name it. What I do is I rename it based upon my level and then the pathway, and give this the speech title, and then I add to specific folder under my documents. So this way you will be able to maintain all the evaluation sheets in one place. Second thing is that if you can maintain a matrix, when you have given a specific speech, what was the highlight of that feedback, and what is an improvement from your first speech to your path completion. Again, depends upon that. Now, about in 2019, after I was able to complete my level 3, I was in a club, and the area director of the club has come and given one education session on pathways. Somebody asked him, why do I need to start in a second pathway from icebreaker? The beautiful answer that he gave is still in my mind. He said, first time when we give icebreaker, it is when we are just facing the problem, or maybe the way that we started, it changes to the way that we are able to introduce ourselves now. It can be a plain speech when we start, but second time, it can depend upon how much you have improved so far. For example, when I gave my first icebreaker, it was different from the second. Second was different from the third from different from fourth. How I want to introduce myself, I introduced myself as a lot of procrastination in one speech. In another speech, I was just dramatizing, because I was just experimenting with my speeches, how we want to do it. The second question that you can get is why a second path, or why an nth path? This is about how you want to see yourself. If you have seen the core values of Toastmasters, the fourth one is excellence. Excellence, how do you get it? Is the more you practice, the more you get it. The more you pull the water from the well, the more the water oozes out of it, isn't it? So that is the reason that you will push yourself to that level by working on it. And so first thing is improvement areas. It might be that in my first pathway I was trying to follow, there might be some improvement areas I'm yet to work upon. For example, I completed my 2 pathways, even my DTM. When I came to United States and different clubs, when I started attending different meetings, some people said, Raghu, I don't even understand what you're talking. So there was a problem in clarity of my language. Second thing was the pace of my speech. Some people found it very fast. But there was another improvement area that was there. So that is when I started working upon it in my next pathway, my 3rd and 4th. Right now, it is 5th and 6th. Right? So then, second is member aspirations. What do you want to improve upon? Let us say I completed my persuasive influence and motivational strategies. Now I wanted to have a funny bone tickling so that I can help members, others, just have some smile with when I have my speeches down. That is when I challenge myself, because that humor was never the way that I could talk to people. I could never crack a joke properly. So that is when I chose engaging humor as a pathway to challenge myself. Next part is innovative way of doing the projects and challenge yourself to do things better. This is why you would choose a second pathway, and that would help you to do better there. And not the least is 2 things is continue journey, because we cannot stop talking. So why not align with a project and then start doing it? More you practice, more you become better. And the last but not least is where you will have a journey towards your DTM. And this is going to help you to complete at least 2 pathways. So I will stop here because we are going to move to next section and wait for any questions on this section.
Feel free at this time to ask your questions or drop it in the chat. Let DTM Raghu, the expert, answer. Thanks so far, DTM Raghu, for your presentation. And we are asking that all guests sign our guest book. Would appreciate that. While you give your questions to DTM Raghu. Any questions?
Okay, one of my lectures said something that 2 things, either you understood or either you didn't understand anything when you don't have questions. So I will ask for last time, any questions for me at this point of time?
DTM Raghu, just a quick question on choosing a path. There's so much out there and so many options. It's overwhelming. Just give us some basic steps as to making that difficult decision.
Okay. I'm going back in my slides. Okay. For example, let us say at this point of time, I have to select a pathway. If you see at each pathway, there are competencies aligned to that pathway. For example, dynamic leadership, 1, 2, 3, 5. What does this mean? Is 1 is public speaking by default for every pathway. 5 is confidence, building confidence for default for every pathway. Now, what is specific to the pathway is 2 and 3. 2 means interpersonal communication. 3 is strategic leadership. For example, there is another pathway, leadership development. Here you have 2 interpersonal communication and 4 is management. So I will decide on this between these 2 pathways because I am going to be promoted as a leader, or am recently promoted as a leader, and how do I work upon that? The leadership development is where I would take if I have to build becoming a better leader at managing things. If I want to strategically step on in my career and then go in upper steps as well, then I would select dynamic leadership where strategic leadership matters. How do I going to lead a team and then build my career there? Let us say I am a senior manager at my office and I have to select a pathway. Effective coaching is one thing because I have to work with certain people, even better managers as well. But if I want to coach, if I'm a teacher, if I'm a professor, then effective coaching is one pathway that is straight to go for. It has some things that you can improve upon here and also select. That is another thing is when you want to work with tough, let's say your peers, are you are not able to persuade people in your life and you want to improve that aspect, persuasive influence. When you want to motivate people, how you want to know different strategies to motivate, you want to become a motivational speaker, that is when I would select motivational strategies. Example, if you see persuasive influence, it talks about 3 and 2. 3 is strategic leadership again here, but then I'm talking about persuading. Motivational strategies is again, if you look at here, 1, 2, 3, 5, same. But then apart from core competencies is this aspiration of your life that you work upon. Presentation mastery is about when you want to improve your presentation skills, body language, or it can be even the way that you build a better PowerPoint for this point of thing. Strategic relationship is where if you want to build different relationships, befriend your network, and then based upon that you want to achieve. For example, you plant a tree and then you want to reap the fruit, the benefits out of it. The same way, building network and achieving your benefits out of it is how you can build that properly. Strategic relationship is there. Team collaboration is how you can collaborate with team towards a common goal. You build all the skills. The main aspect of all this is because in your life, we do achieve in one or other way. For example, as a parent, we work with our children. As a manager or as a just if the IC, the individual contributor, we achieve things. But are we able to do it right? Is that what we learn here? So that we need to concentrate on. For example, I did work with team before. I did talk to people before, but was that right communication style? For example, one of my friend I am no more connected to just because I was using my direct communication style. I thought it was right. I was talking to him because it worked with others, but it didn't work with him because his confidence was always low and he felt that I was just trying to push myself on him. So think about it. Are we doing it right or not is what we are going to get it from these pathways projects. So this pathway project doesn't just mean that we are going to read, give some speech and move away. It is also about how we are going to implement it in our personal, professional life. That's about it, Anne-Marie. So you select based upon two main things, competencies that you're going to build. Second is your personal and professional aspirations. I hope I'm clear on this point.
Thank you. Dityan Rago, someone asked in the chat, which path challenged you the most?
I would say engaging humor. As I told you, it was not my forte. Then I had to push myself. Even my first pathway, when I moved from one level to other, especially talking about your leadership style, it took me 1.5 months thinking whether I was a leader in my life. What are the different aspects that I have bought in my life? And it did challenge me. And then when it came to engaging humor, each speech took amount of time more than that I would normally take. Because, as you said, it's not easy. Humor, especially for one class of people, one country, it might be different from other. It is not universal. something that I challenge myself going across different countries, trying to give a same speech and then improve upon that. So something that helped me to become at least to grow or become a better speaker, at least going 1%, 2%. I won't say that I'm a good speaker there, but just building my skills there was going across, trying to repeat my speeches upon the feedback that I got from last time. So you always have to strive to become a better version of yourself from what you were earlier. That helps you grow in this program. Now, Holy Grail is what we call the Distinguished Toastmaster thing. The same way the revered Holy Grail in our religion, same way the DTM is in Pathways. So there were earlier programs which were much valued than DTM that I came to understand just yesterday. But DTM is right now the highest qualification that you can get in Pathways right now. Now, how do you achieve your DTM? There are two learning paths that you need to complete. It doesn't matter whether it is parallel, whether it is sequential, it's up to you. The beauty of Toastmaster program is that it is your self-praise program. Nobody is going to punish you, nobody is going to put you down, and nobody is going to discourage you anywhere. It is your journey. Are you able to give a speech? Excuse me. Give one speech per month or one speech for 6 months, doesn't matter. It is your journey again, put it on the way that you want. But one thing that my first mentor told me, if you want to become a better speaker, better person, and that you can improve yourself in Toastmaster is take at least one role in each meeting. Second is try to give speeches as often as possible, but come prepared. Can you imagine? I wrote my icebreaker speech 6 times. The first speech in my life was I have to write it 6 times. My mentor forced me to do that because first it matters how you build a culture of writing your speech and then improving it as much as possible. That is still there in my mind. More than my speech evaluator, I evaluate myself critically, and if I don't like my presentation, I want to go back to maybe a different country, different club, and then repeat my speech with the improvements that I know that I could have done better. Now, people talked about the improvements in Toastmasters. How does it even happen? If you listen to the speech from first speaker, our club road director, she talked about the way that the different skills she was able to hone in Toastmasters. In any typical meeting, if you have seen today or any other meeting that you have attended so far in Toastmasters, every role counts. Every role. Timer. The timer, whoever is timing will know how time is critical. Same way as a speaker, that shows me that I need to time properly. This discipline has helped me a lot. When I go and talk somewhere, I complete on dot. When I even seen senior leadership in my company still goes at least 10 to 15 minutes more than agenda. Second thing is R counter. When you observe others, how they are not, there's no clarity in their speeches and then starts answer, etc. You get to observe where people are actually doing it wrong as a role player. And then when I get my report, I become more conscious. Now, this person is an active listener. They're developing active listener skills, and I getting the report, and then I work on my speeches much better. Third thing is grammarian. They hone their skills on the grammar. They again are active listeners, and I improve myself on that part, grammar part of it. Next is your general evaluator or Toastmaster. They are doing the leadership role. manage a project successfully, we talked about it, but I would say each and every meeting in a Toastmaster is a project. Talk to any VP education. They will just say, they will claim it because it is a project. You are managing a team to achieve one common goal to complete one meeting there. Next is the roles like speaker or speech evaluator. Speech evaluator is having active business skills, same time to pass a feedback that is encouraging is not that easy. Trust me. When I first build my skills as an evaluator, second thing that I'm aiming at is building that evaluation that will help the speaker just they get the smooth feeling about it. They keep and they get the encouragement to become a better speaker. And the speaking skills is where you do practice your speeches. One thing you're learning to be on time. You're building a basic structure to whatever you talk. This helps you to do that, implement that the way you write to emails, the way that you talk to others. One challenge I had before joining Toastmasters is the structure. I always used to think something, write something, there's always disconnected. It also happened in the regular conversation. After Toastmasters, even my manager pointed out that there's a lot of improvement the way that I write emails, the way that I talk to others. It has helped me even in my personal life when I and my wife both became Toastmasters. Our perception towards life, the way that we deal with people, the way that we see at things has changed a lot. Now, why do I talk about it? Because many people just don't look at these roles and they think that only giving speeches matter, but these roles do matter. Second thing is it also matters the way that if you're taking a club officer role. Sometimes if you look at the core values of Toastmasters again, service is one of the core values, the way that we want to serve others. In a club officer role, you serve people because it's a voluntary organization. Nobody is going to pay you, but in the role, it helps you by giving a chance to serve the club. Or it can be any other role as well. But right now, if we talk about the goal towards DTM is serving as a club officer for 12 months or 2 terms of 6 months, depending upon what is the club, the structure that they have. Some people say that it should be 6 months, one after another. It doesn't matter. In my second DTM, I served in 2 different clubs, same time for 6 months each, and I got the credit for my DTM for that. So remember, it is not just 1 12 months or 2 6 months, one after other. It can be working in 2 different clubs as a club officer for 6 months each. Third thing is serve as a club mentor or club coach. We all know that when we charter a club, there are 2 roles, or if you don't know, that you understand, is there are 2 roles that you can play when a club is chartered. Club sponsor, club mentor. Club sponsor is who helps build the club is chartered with the documentation, or it can be even a demo meetings, etc. Club mentor is a person whose role starts the moment the club is chartered. He or she has to work closely with the club members, executive team, and ensure that for 6 months, the club remains on the rail that they wanted. Rail in the sense, what was the goal to achieve the distinguished status or etc., how they can do it there. So he or she will work closely with them and ensure the club remains and is stable in that period. 6 months minimum is the term for the club mentor. Now, what is club coach? There are at times when members get derailed from what they want. At times, some people get what they want to achieve out of Toastmasters, they leave. Some people are not motivated anymore. So person to person, it varies. For example, people like me and Frederica and Mary, we are excited about Toastmasters and we may remain for long term. But some people might join and just leave within 6 months. or they may not even come to any meeting at all, just paying the money. So at that point of time, if the club membership just goes very down and the club is not able to function properly, that is when the club director and the part of the team decides to have a club coach for the club to get to normal state, how they can do better. That is the role is club coach. At any club who has the membership between 1 to 12, 1 to 11 specifically, 1 to 11, they are eligible to get a club coach. Here, the two people have to be in agreement to that, the club president and also the club growth chair. They have to agree on this assignment, and any club can have 2 club coaches. Now, Toastmasters is giving you an advantage if you're taking club coach role. Last 3 years, because the legacy program was ending, they give dual credit. If you're taking club coach role and then getting the club achieve their goals, distinguished status, and with the membership goals, then you are getting dual credit. One is district officer credit and also club coach credit. This year also, it has extended the program, but the minimum goal is you need to get the club achieve distinguished status and also get a membership of at least 20 members. And then you get the dual credit of district officer and also club coach. This will help you towards your DTM. Next is club sponsor spacecraft youth leadership program. Club sponsor, we talked about it. And if you don't want to charter a club, then you can just conduct a spacecraft program or youth leadership program. This will help the specific club achieve their goals, and also you will get a credit towards your DTM. Third thing is you also learn how to work with a specific team and help non-Toastmasters to see the benefits of Toastmaster.
Aye.
Then you also, the next part is serve as a district officer. For example, if you're taking club coach and getting that done, then you don't need it. Otherwise, you need to serve as a district officer. District officer should be the credit role, area director, division director, club growth director, certain aspects of wherever you're elected are appointed, but that should not be non-credit roles. The last is complete DTM project. A project is there for you to achieve your DTM. In part of it, you need to do 2 speeches. First is giving your plan. Second is how you achieved it. So what is about DTM is to showcase, are you a good leader? Are you able to implement a plan into an action, and how you're able to do. Second, it doesn't mean that I want to achieve something, but I will push everyone to do it. Does not work that way. So that is where it demonstrated. So you see, it's about completing 2 pathways. Then you go by club sponsor, spacecraft or youth leadership program, club mentor, club coach, then club officer for 12 months. It can be 2 6 months or 1 12 months, and district officer. And you need to complete your DTM project. That's how you get your DTM in these pathways. Talking about credit roles is you're elected or appointed. They are non-credit roles. For example, if you're having about a district administration manager, etc. roles, they are not credit and they do not count towards your DTM cost. Now, if you talk about club sponsor, club mentors, there's a report that you can see in your Toastmaster website, where you can go and select a district and then see whether if your appointment is done or not. Then you also can see club coach appointment. For example, if somebody has used that, here you can see this part. For me, I have coached this club and I have placed towards my DTM project. So that's why you see coach you. So that is how you see it, and it's awarded. So you see awarded if your term is complete. If you're able to achieve it by June 30th is the deadline by when you need to complete, and you get your club coach award in 2 months after that, because they need to work upon and they do finalize by August ending. Now, pathways mentoring, we talked about it, but I will just, in the interest of time, just go in brief about it. It talks about the way that you mentor people for short term and long term. Short term is where you help them achieve a goal out of their speeches or help them with a specific speech. Long term is how you want to mentor them. I had different types of mentors so far. First is a mentor who was very specific on how I should improve. Other mentors are just, it's like they just pull the string and then see and then show me that where I'm able to do it better or not. They just say, it's, if you can do it, you do it. If you cannot, it's fine. So the thing is, the mentor has to work closely with the member till they're able to do it on their own. Hold them. For example, if they're starting with from their first level, the first pathway, work with them closely and see they understand each and everything. The expectation is that they should help them on the meeting roles. Second thing is they're on speeches and help them to see the value in Toastmasters. This program is not something that the people can just come in and do it. The mentors will handhold them and help them till what they can, how they can do things independently. Second is once they will do things independently, just give them tips where they can improve upon. Any speech has to be mentored by the mentor, because once you have two eyes, two pair of eyes, and look at things, there's another one or another improvement area before you go to speeches. This practice has helped me to improve the way that I write emails. I correct them at least twice or thrice before I send, because the way you give speech is not for yourself. It is for others to understand you. So you need to look into that perspective as well. So the mentoring aspect helps you a lot. If your club has not built a mentoring so far, please work upon building the mentoring program. It did help millions and it will help you as well. So with that note, I'll stop here. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
Thanks, DTM Raghu, so far. Any questions? And I maybe can start the ball rolling, DTM Raghu, in terms of mentorship. Mentorship is very important, and that is how we learn and we grow, especially for new persons. And I would not just say new persons, as I say, everybody needs a mentor. From your experience as a mentor, share some best practices with us.
Sure. One thing I would say is, as a mentor, as a mentee, both are learning aspects.
I want to stop.
I think Giri have his hand up.
No, in continuation with that question, what Madam asked, should the mentor be from the same district or can the mentor be from anywhere else with your club? I just want you to add with that question. Thank you.
Okay,
I'm sorry to
thanks,
interrupt you.
Giri.
Thank you, Giri. Okay. Thing is, both aspects as a mentor and mentee, both are learning. Something that has helped me to improve myself on engaging humor, or something pushed me towards engaging humor, is one of my mentees. She was always writing good humorous speeches, and that did help me to do better in my pathways engaging humor. It's a learning path, learning curve for you. It's two-way street, it's not just one-way street. Second thing is, most people think that the mentor has to be from the same pathway. For example, if I'm doing dynamic leadership, the mentor has to be from the same path. No, it's not about that. The mentor can always go through the project and can help you with what is expected from that path, the project. Second thing is, mentor from any area. So I have mentors from different countries, so it doesn't matter. They have to be from a specific country. So I have from United States, and I have from someone from Canada, and then and from India too. So you can have multiple mentors also at the same time. It doesn't matter about that. It's about the way that you approach them and what do you want to achieve as a mentee, and the mentor is able to give time. For example, some mentors have time, they do give the time. Some others might be busy. So when I find that, I will go and approach my other mentors. And it's always good to have two mentors because two different perspectives. Because two evaluators, if you see, they have different perspectives about that. But this is why some advanced club have 3 speech evaluators for the same speech, because all 3 of them have different perspectives. In one of advanced club, I'm part of Surf City Advanced Toastmasters. 20 people or whoever, how many number of the people that attend the meeting, they give you feedback. For example, the speech evaluator gives you 3 minutes evaluation. Every other member gets to speak for 1 minute on their evaluation. Think about it. You get to see the multiple perspectives of the same speech. So when you have multiple mentors, it is also a good thing. The thing is, as a mentee, what you're taking there. We have a saying, a sloka from Bhagavad Gita, which says, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevya. If you're going to a mentor, how you're going to them? You have to go with the full respect to them. The only intention to ask and learn, and with no intention to malign or just show them down or just ask for something to show that you are great. Always be humble before your mentor. And trust me, when you are humble, your mentor will feel potential, try to help you. I have always respected my mentors outside and inside Toastmasters, and that always push them to help me better. So that is what I would suggest you to do on your as a pathway as a mentee. Coming to mentors, what you need to concentrate upon is that whatever you're giving is understood by your mentee or not. Try to always grasp that. Second thing is, don't leave in between. There are tough times for everybody. There are times when people don't understand. We started from there. So try to handhold them till the time that they need. Second time, do question them if they need the help or not. And if you think that they can just work upon their own or just with the minimal help, to try to leave them and then just give minimal suggestions required. That is what my mentors do right now. I'm working with, and then that helped me a lot. They just ask a question, and that puts the insect here to think about it. That helps me a lot. That is required. When I started, my mentor pushed me to rewrite my icebreaker speech, but right now they just ask a question, and that question helps me to introspect myself. There are 2 different things that you need to say.
Right. What I love about you, Toastmaster DTM Raghu, from knowing you, you're a humble person. And I remember once I evaluated you and I said, I really could not understand some of the things you said. And you decided, okay, you're going to get mentoring for just being able to speak and pronounce better. And if a lot of us take that into consideration, I am sure we will realize we all need mentors. And I can also share another one. Just before CGT gave her speech this evening, she was with her mentor. She had to change her speech because the mentor wasn't in agreement with what she was going to say. And if you notice, the agenda changed right away. So we all need mentors. Mentoring is a very important aspect of even the Pathways program. And therefore, when you're looking for a mentor or when we are allotted mentors, ensure that the people that we choose know what they're about so they can mentor properly. And some people are now looking for people who have completed a whole path. I'm not sure if DTM Raghu would be in agreement with that. But that is policy, that is procedure now. What do you think about that, DTM Raghu?
Okay. if you look at Pathways mentoring project, it gets enabled as soon as you complete level 2. So the expectation, at least is from Pathways program, is that once you complete level 2, you can start mentoring the new Toastmasters. But again, depends upon the pace. For example, let us say you stop there, stagnate there, and then your mentee goes forward. That is again a pain point. Are you able to understand the program properly? Are you able to read it properly and talk about it? So there's a program called Odyssey Project. If anyone wants to see, you can just Google it or search in Facebook. So I'm mentoring right now 4 different people, one from Kazakhstan, and there's another person from United States, and then there are 2 more, one from Nepal and one from India. So working with them is fun, where you get to learn the different cultural aspects at the same time, working with them to achieve a common goal. I also get to understand, for example, when I talked about this person in Kazakhstan, she gave me 6 different projects, ideas that she's got for DTM project, and that amazed me. Also gave me some ideas that I can do upon in one of my projects in Pathways or one of my DTM project in future. It is two-way street. Second time is, are you able to give that aspect? So you need to have that skills. It's more like exchanging. It's more like what you call bartering system. I give my, what do you say, something, and then you give something in return. So that is where it works upon. So you don't expect anything from your mentee, but it is a two-way street. You get something from your mentee while talking to them or while you converse with them. For example, let us say from one of my mentee, I saw a different aspect of life, something that I learned.
Okay. Thanks, DTM Raghu. Any questions coming from the floor? Does Master Giri have any more questions?
Thank you so much, DTM Raghu, for answering the question. It's been a pleasure listening and learning from him.
Great. That means what you said was well understood. Any questions? I'm
sure it was very entertaining, very learning, a lot of material. But I'm sure as we start doing the projects, there will be questions. I think that's wherein you go to a mentor and find out and ask. That's what it is like. But overall picture, everything was really great.
Thanks to
Thank you. Thank you. I think, Frederick, at this point, I'll pass the control back to you, as I see no questions from the floor.
Okay. Thanks again, DTM Raghu, for taking time off to come virtually to Area 46 and share some of your experiences, read Pathways, and that is how we could take a deep dive into Pathways this evening. I am sure even we hear that how many times we always have some great takeaways every time somebody really delivers on Pathways, because that is our education program, and that is what we need to master. I only start to really learn the value of Pathways only now. Busy doing other roles, not really speaking when I have to, but not understanding that everything you do sometimes, you can put it back to a Pathways learning level. So I'm looking at every speech I give, everywhere I am, how I can engage myself into the Pathways learning. And when I realize I appear as a level 2, I'd almost completed 2 paths. So people on this platform, see where you are in your Pathways. And I am sure the next time you speak, even as at work, you get a Toastmaster, you record it, and you have someone evaluate it, that too is one of your projects that you will become you can gain points for on that pathways learning section.